Okay, it's another week. It is To the Hard Way, and I am finally happy because I have just now accomplished one of my greatest dreams of all times. Me and two beautiful women, and I'm between them. And with my sister-in-law, my partner in crime, DK. I'm Donovan Sadiq. This is To the Hard Way. We need to call it 3 the hard way, but menage a trois, whatever you want to do. But we're also bring back by, if you guys remember, she's always been with us, Mighty Max.
What's up?
Who has been running around
straight
all over the place. So, I mean, Max, where have you been? What's been going on?
I've been rebranding, refocusing, and really getting into what I want to do. So I am finally out in the open with my alter ego, Chelzee Taboo.
Okay, and Chelzee Taboo is tell us a little bit about Chelzee Taboo.
Chelzee Taboo is a writer.
Okay.
She is a content producer, a creative thinker, and my goal is really just to allow people to get out of the box that we've placed on sex in society, as if women aren't allowed to want to be sexual, as if, if you are sexual, you're a slut, or
very popular.
Yeah, or just negative. That's why I go by taboo, because I'm gonna dabble in that line of this is okay and this is not. Mm-hmm. And I beat a lot of statistics that don't really line up with someone who's all about that lifestyle, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So I'm just here for a voice for women who think differently.
Okay.
And I'm on a TV show that
tell us about that. Yeah,
filming some pilots.
Okay.
It's called Unsigned Hype TV.
And where can we find that?
You can find us on Instagram at Unsigned Hype TV. Everything's spelled correctly.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you a model on the show?
I am the main host of the show.
Okay, are you going to be in your bikini? What's going on in your thong? What's happening there?
So we basically work with unsigned artists. It's a platform to get their music out to the world on another level, to be able to do interviews and to be able to push their content, as well as everyone who's on the show is nice, young, and raw, unsigned talent as well. So, just a new platform for up-and-coming people who are focused on getting into whatever industry they'd like to on their own terms, to have a place to, show their craft.
Okay, now on the show, is it just music? Or, what if I'm a juggler and I want to get into the entertainment?
You can juggle the girls.
I don't mind doing that. I'm a little older. But
our main focus is live performances,
mm-hmm.
But we do tons of things with models and visionaries and artists or influencers, as we like to call them now. So
okay, and also, you've been dabbing in a lot of stuff. You are an ASU graduate. You went to the Walter Cronkite
School of Journalism.
But being a young person, you dab here, you dab there, you dab here, you dab there, and in your adventures, you're also a health nut guru.
Yes.
You're still doing Herbalife and everything.
Yes. I will forever do Herbalife just because I don't have another option for breakfast, personally. I'm not as active in the business side of it. Mm-hmm. It's no longer my main source of income, but I still get a paycheck every month.
Sure.
And I still help people, and I still consume the products myself. Right. It'll always be a part of me. Loyalty already.
Yeah, because I noticed on some of your feeds, you're not doing the handstands as much.
Yeah. And that's because I'm authentic, right? So, I'm not going to lie to people go out there, I'm not in the gym. I'm healing from a piercing right now.
And the piercing is probably in your toe.
I got my nipples pierced.
Okay.
Is that okay to say?
Yeah, no, we're on the radio. Hey.
No. So, I'm healing.
Well, that's
from
what the young kids
piercing.
are into. So,
it's for the aesthetics.
Sure.
# sheer top summer.
Okay.
If
you guys notice, I'm just drinking.
Yeah.
Silent.
I'm so wild.
But like I said, there's a lot of, it's a different generation than when we came in. So speak that language.
Coffee. Drink the coffee. I like tea. I like tea.
Speak that language.
Yeah, but so I will get back in the gym, but you're not seeing posts of me working out or doing anything extra because I'm not. And I'm not going to lie to the internet.
Okay.
You see posts of me being out and having fun and drinking shakes.
Okay.
but I haven't been in the gym consistently for like.
Okay, great. And I know you are consistently in LA.
Moving around. I'm working with a cannabis company right now.
Yes, I heard about that, yeah.
Yes, you can follow us online. We are a 24/7 mobile delivery, local to the Inland Empire.
Now, for those guys that don't understand and watching on the show, or you're listening right now, ask somebody else to deliver other than Max, because when Max delivers, half of your stash is gone.
Not even. No. We are all because we all consume our product. We all the greens come straight from the lustrous grounds of up north with delicious soils, and Humboldt, Santa Cruz, just different areas that we grow in.
Let me ask you this, since we're talking about cannabis, because for you might not know, because you haven't been behind the scenes with us as you usually work. Dee has invested in the cannabis industry.
High five all the way.
Dee has invested, and I've invested a little bit in that. So my question to you is, and I put it up on the show.
Send me that link.
Yeah, I put it up on the show for those that want to get into this side of it, the legal side of it, as they figure this stuff out and get into the stocks. And when they figure it out, the bank's going to get into it. Right now, even though you're in the delivery side of it, are you investing any money on the other side of it?
Yes. Okay. And the reason behind it is because of the laws that are going to change, that are actually already changing.
Yeah, they're changing. They're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, like they're regulating differently, and a lot of laws change. So you can't even manufacture in certain places. Yeah. You can't cultivate in certain places. You can't, what's the last word? Manufacture, cultivate. Sell in certain places,
right?
But if I can invest into a brand that can manufacture here and they can invest here for a delivery service, that's where the money is. I don't necessarily want to be flipping it.
And another thing is a lot of people that I'm not into cannabis. I've never used drugs. I think you did in your younger days.
No. He tried to play it.
But, for those of us that have never done it, whatever the deal is, so we don't really know the ins and outs of it. And, how do you do the, get the seeds out?
Oh,
okay. I don't know how to do all that stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know how to, I don't know.
Trimming.
I don't know. I just hear it.
Growing, what? Let me tell you what I learned.
What did you learn?
Growing marijuana is one of the hardest things to do. Okay. It's really a talent, which is why you'll have growers like Cookies or, Wiz Khalifa's line of marijuana, just different cultivators who are really popular because they knew how to grow weed and now they have money, so they've invested these amazing systems to grow. But good weed comes from the grower.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a lot of people don't know about this business is right now in California, in Colorado, in Washington, it is a cash and carry business. So you're gonna do a lot of investing in security. So that takes a lot of your profit out because these people could get robbed. I mean, so
that part.
So
real life.
So when you're out and about, do you ever worry about that? Are you packing? Are you doing?
I'm never gonna tell you.
right.
But I usually move with an escort.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We you can follow us on Instagram at Up North Collective _ all one word, everything spelled correctly. We travel as a team. Okay. You're not going to see us moving out loosely or sloppy in these streets because, let's say you'd like to order a half pound of marijuana from us. Okay. And we give you that at a wholesale price for a half pound. Well, the half pound is going to move in the streets for more than what you're going to pay for it. So if you just see this happy-go-lucky girl rolling up and you saw us marketing online, you're going to be shocked when you see there's a 6'4" dude right next to her. You're not doing nothing dumb.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing dumb.
For a lot of us that don't know, and that's the biggest thing when it comes to investing now. Once all this is sorted out, the banks don't want to touch it right now until it's regulated. Right. But if you are invested in the stocks of cannabis, when this is all sorted out, the market is just going to shoot up.
And it's crazy because now looking back on it, I understand why people didn't want it to be legalized because of all the regulations that are going to come with it. And now people are going to be manipulating crops and big names are going to
jump
take
into
over.
It, right.
And it's going to be like Newport of weed or Marlboro of weed or whatever. So, the street guy ultimately will come back winning because you're not going to be able to get cannabis anymore at shops.
Right.
So I think it'll make a full circle. Everyone will be happy, but invest. Legal. You have the option too.
I mean, if you want to get on top of that, RJ Reynolds, which is a big tobacco company, they are investing in the cannabis thing. And it makes sense because people are going to smoke it, especially younger people.
Right.
So if RJ Reynolds is selling Winston 100s and Cools and all these other stuff. You know, hey, if I can get a what's a pack of cigarettes cost now? $10.
Oh gosh,
$10.
roughly
About $10.
$8 to $10. Yeah.
Oh, man, if I could get a dime bag of weed, you know,
right? You know, if I can get some pre-rolls for $10,
right? I'd rather do the
I'm good for the week,
the thing and do that. So, all right,
and,
well,
you know, I just say because it's legal, more people will be curious. There's going to be people who have never tried. That are
it's going to be like alcohol.
But I think what people need to realize too, it's legal, but you still cannot go to work,
high,
high, any of that.
You still can't drive in your car with
get
it.
a DUI. You can drive in your car. It can be in your trunk.
Yeah.
It's like alcohol.
Don't smoke and drive. The gas will get you. You know,
Right.
be responsible, just like alcohol.
Right. It's the same kind of regulation.
The new prohibition.
Yeah, but you got fools over here at the parks that are just smoking out.
Right. Well, because
like,
they're ignorant of the law, and that, like you said, it's like alcohol and all of that. You're supposed to do it responsibly at home. Not supposed to be drinking or smoking or driving at the park, any of that kind of stuff. So, unfortunately, for me, I mean, I understand that the weed, business is going to boom, but it's going to boom for the prison industry as well. Because they're going to be people consuming in marijuana, but not knowing the laws. And so, well, it's legal. Yeah, but you're smoking it at the park. So what I'm gonna need you to do is get in this car.
Right. It's and that's gonna be a little bit. It's a misdemeanor, so I'm gonna give you a $400 ticket.
Right, and so they, you know, the government, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They're like, go ahead, let them have it. There's more for us on the back end anyway.
Right. And you know, and most people, you know, us compared to the Caucasian. Let's say hypothetically, I get caught for marijuana, and then my Caucasian counterpart gets caught. Same amount, same everything. He gets probation. I go to jail.
Right.
So, got to know the laws. Right. Know the laws and how they apply to you.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. That's
Keep
awesome.
eye drops on.
What does eye drops do?
Clears that red eye.
But it don't clean out green piss though.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
See, I don't know any of this.
That's going to be that's something that's also, how are they going to test for people who are driving impaired if your car doesn't smell like marijuana? And, you know, as long as you haven't been smoking within this amount of time, are you allowed to drive? It's going to be
hard, but
we're going to move faster than the laws catch up to us. So.
Well, the technology is already there because they can test for you even in your breath.
Yeah, but it's like, if I smoked 8 hours ago and I didn't brush my teeth, and I'm not high no more, what's the issue?
Well, until you can go to court and prove it and fight your
that'll
case,
be something that real people are going to ask.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Again, you got to go to court and fight your case. And most likely you're going to go to court without a lawyer because the lawyers cost a lot of money. And you're just going to go ahead and pay the ticket.
Or, I mean, if you know you have a job that has a no tolerance policy as far as drugs, you might not want to do it. I mean, what's more important, your job or you smoking the weed? I mean, because you go into HR, say you get in an accident at the job, and most jobs will require you to take a drug test. You go down to the clinic and you test dirty. Now, maybe you didn't smoke the weed, you know, that day or the day before, even a week before, but it's in your system. And so you can't say, well, I'm not high. Well, the job says you're not supposed to be smoking it at all if you're going to work here.
And that's why I tell people to enjoy responsibly. Yes. Fortunately, I've been blessed to be able to, nobody drug tested me. Okay. You know what I mean? Thank God.
Yeah. Well,
I told my mom I'd be able to make it and do what I want. You know, but I don't make the type of income I could possibly make at a 9 to 5 with my degree if I could decide to give up the love for indulging, but I won't. Sure. I'm just going to balance it out.
You know, speaking of your degree and everything, I just want to tell you with what's going on in the national government and all the writing that is going on and all these blockbusters that keep coming out on your boy Trump. I mean, the prostitution, the porn stars. Well, no, what I'm saying is they're not going to do anything because, you know, but it's kind of hypocritical. The evangelicals,
yes.
You know, this guy's morally corrupted. But what I'm saying is, you know, with what's going on as a writer, you have so much you could be writing about, you know, in your own blogs and just, you know, getting on and being an independent writer and subscribing to a local thing if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, no, I am definitely like refocused on my producing content being number one. So I'll be doing taboo thoughts or viewpoints every Thursday.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
You know, I'm committing to that.
Okay, you know, because
we heard you.
I'm committing to it.
Yeah, because you know, it would really be nice that you know you would you know come on the show and do your little segment of what you're doing, maybe in your other show or your...
I'm not allowed to share anything about Unsigned Hype TV right now.
No. I'm talking about like if there's...
Oh, my other show with you.
Well, that one, or but even if that other show is going on, like, there's going to be an event that you guys are putting on, things like that. You come on as a roving...
roving reporter.
Yeah, like a roving reporter, and just submit things like, hey, I got this, I want to just put on the show, and you just come on out and...
You'll be actively seeing my face.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll work out the details in your mind. No,
new contract.
Right. But in the local news, for those of you guys that don't know, once again, it has been 4 to 6 years. Mm-hmm. District 1 Councilwoman Victoria Baca, and I know a lot of people that aren't from Moreno Valley or the Inland Empire, you don't know what's going on here, but we had the biggest corruption in FBI history. $2.3 million happened about 6 years ago. I think it was 8 years ago. Yeah, I think about 6 years ago. It's about 6 years ago. FBI history.
The first recall happened? So 2014?
The first corruption,
okay.
So, 2014. Mm-hmm. So, an FBI history happened here in the city of Moreno Valley. And part of that corruption thing was a lady named Victoria Baca. She was the council person in the district at the time. We were District 5. She was recalled based on the corruption that was going on in the city of Moreno Valley. Currently, it has been certified. It was certified last Wednesday, I believe, that there has been another petition circulated to go and get the signatures they need to recall her. And of course, Victoria Baca says this is a witch hunt. They're just trying to steal her seat. It's a way to bring Dolores Jimson back on and get her seat back. Now, number one, Dolores Jimson is not running in a recall thing. It would be stupid for her to do so because of what had happened last time. And I don't have to rehash that. And I want to say this about Dolores Jimson. Just because she did something 30 years ago, it's true. It does affect what she does today. Right. Because it did. It did affect what she did. That's why she's not a council person anymore. However, that does not squelch her ability to participate and give her opinions as a member of this community. So when people try to, and when I look at her on social media, it's so sad. The first thing that she could have a great point that she's saying. Mm-hmm. Because she was a council member, so she was on the know. But the first thing they do to shut her down is bring up she was a bank robber. And it's unfortunate, but that's going to happen. Right. But still, that does not negate the fact that she's a member of this community and what she's going to say. And she is not a person who's going to be running that would be stupid, because number one, it was stupid for her to run when the truth came out. And now Victoria Baca is back, and that is part of the problem. So, Dee, what is your take on?
I just think anytime in politics you keep going with the same old, the same old keeps showing you that they're not interested in producing results. They're just interested in enriching themselves and the people who are enriching them. Mm-hmm. Then I think you're always going to have a problem. How about move out the same old, and get people in there with good ideas, not just ideas, but who have a proven track record of getting things done. Go with those people. Yeah, they might not be very popular. Maybe a lot of people have never heard of them, but maybe that's because they've been busy behind the scenes actually getting stuff done instead of being in a congeniality contest. Right. So I think if it's not working for you, whether it's, Victoria Baca, Jimson, whoever, then look at somebody else.
Right, Donovan Sadiq. And that's another thing. Once again, I'm going to make sure I have nothing to do with this recall. I've heard about it. I'm covering it. I am not a candidate. I have done my civic duty. I ran twice. And here we are in confusion once again.
Well, I will say this to you as well. I know that a lot of people, have and will come to you and asking you to help them in the recall. And I would tell them, hell no. No, exactly. If that's you guys' thing, I've helped you with the recall before, and you guys, were right back to where we were before the recall took place. And so this is you guys' baby. This is your thing. You guys own it. I'm rooting from you for the sidelines. To me, to you, what difference does it make if who's on the seat at this point? That's what they're interested in doing. Let them go put their efforts, instead of giving a bunch of lip service, let them go put their efforts behind it.
Yeah, it's funny because I noticed that what they like is they like the fact of my activism and when it suits their needs. And they're like, oh yeah, Donovan, da, da, da. But when it came down to actually electing an ethical person that was getting stuff done in the district, they went with their friend.
Well, not only that, I've seen on blogs, and I think that this is another thing too. People should be careful what they say on blogs because, I haphazardly came across the comment that I sent to you. Those very same people who are asking you to help are the same people who are talking stuff about you.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, do it all in my face.
Right.
Let me know how you really think about me, and that way I'll know who I'm dealing with. But don't try to come all nice. We really need you to help. But then you're killing me on the blogs, or you're trying to.
Trying to kill me.
Yeah, I mean, do it all up front.
Right. Exactly.
So I would say if I was you, just
well, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I wasn't part of the first recall, as they've constantly said when I ran.
Good luck to you guys.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And
let me know what happens.
Yeah, and the sad thing is Victoria Baca knows that once her name is put on a recall thing, she's probably toast. She's most likely toast.
Right. Well, let that be on them.
Right.
And you know what the cold part about it is? They only want to recall her. I'm not saying she's not doing a bad job. I'm sure she is.
She's doing a terrible job.
Right, I'm sure she is. But what's new? She was doing a terrible job when they recalled her.
Right.
The cold part about it is, and you guys forgive my voice, I'm losing. Some people are probably happy about that. But the cold part about it is they're not going to put in a candidate that's good. They're going to put in they're going to put in a Victoria Baca, pseudo kind of person anyway. They're going to put in a person who has probably ran in the same circles with her at some point in time. Somebody who is not but that much different than her.
Right.
So it's like, why? What's your angle?
Right.
What's really
a good example in the example of the first recall? They put in their friend LaDonna Jensen. I'm going to fight for you. And LaDonna,
weren't they girls before? At one point
they were
in time?
girls at one time. They all came here together. And I'm not here to make fun of you LaDonna, it's like that. But the facts are the facts. Every time that you say something, they are going to throw in the fact that you were a bank robber. And that was your past. You went to Alaska for 9. The facts are there. The documents are there. And because you did not heed my advice and step down and let another viable candidate run at that time, it didn't have to be me. We could have agreed on somebody else.
Right.
We lost that seat. And the sad thing is, the question we have to ask ourselves is, okay, you guys are going to do this recall. Who are you going to replace her with?
The same old person.
Right. The same person with a different face.
And that's Chelzee Taboo.
There you go. I mean, shoot, they'd be better off.
Why not?
They'd be better off. And that's how you know, too, that they're full of the stuff is because you were on the ballot twice. A man of action, somebody who is just, it's deeds, not words. That was your slogan. Somebody who's actually doing things, but yet they keep running people who are just talking. Somebody who, and I don't care what anybody says, I don't know LaDonna personally, but I know what I've seen and I've read is that she hasn't gotten a lot of things done. She didn't have any original ideas.
She had no ideas.
Was, I would say miscongeniality to where she looked good doing the job, but it's like, okay, but what are you actually doing? So again, they had somebody such as yourself who was actually doing things, but they weren't interested. So that's why I had to call bullcocker on the whole thing. You guys just
calling BS.
Yeah, they just want somebody to sit on the dais who is going to be a puppet.
And it's their friend.
Exactly. They're not really interested in, hell, like you say, you live in this district. There's places that don't even have sidewalks. You get a sidewalk like that. How hard is it?
You can't because there's a brand new apartment complex right here off of Eucalyptus popping with no sidewalks in Edgemont
and a brand new school.
But where are the kids walking to school?
What have I said? I said that for over a year. I said that for 2 years.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, so it's like they're not interested in actually getting things done. They just want a friend who will tout their stuff and all of that. So that's why, this whole, it's a farce.
Yeah, here's a funny thing. The funny thing about the politics of Moreno Valley is all these people know each other and it's the same factions fighting. Radine Air wants to be a shot caller, and they just fight each other. And it's basically the same people. It's the same.
And that's why you tell them to get their own people to do their dirty work. Stop coming to you and asking you to help and all that. Tell them to get their own manpower behind their shenanigans.
Right. Dave Marquez, he's subject to a recall.
What?
They subjected him to a recall.
What did he do?
He didn't do anything. But see, he's from the other side. So they figured that if you're going to get Victoria Baca, we're going to get Dave Marquez.
Okay, wait. So, but Dave Marquez is the one at the, if I remember right, he was the one at the debate that says that he gets his information from rumors.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he was dead serious,
Yes.
y'all. He said, I get my information from rumors.
And the funny thing is, Dave Marquez and Victoria Baca, they're related by marriage.
What?
Again,
It's like
you
a
just ha-
scandal.
Right. You just have to, there you go. You better be writing this stuff
Right,
down.
like,
I'm telling you, only in real life.
It's just same old,
The same people.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, why y'all recalling the same people
Same
to get them
people.
back on there? It's
Get it back on
stupid.
there.
Waste of people's money.
So, the
Use
question
it for a sidewalk.
Right. The question for District 1 is, who are they going to replace Victoria Baca with? Because, the last couple of weeks, for those of us that are in District 1, Victoria Baca has been sending out flyers touting what she's done.
But what's on it? What has she done? I'm interested.
It was stuff like, more jobs. The same old.
What jobs?
Yeah, what jobs?
Amazon?
Yeah, the
Hello?
Amazon.
You talking about Amazon job that where people go on for 2 weeks and get fired or die?
Hello?
Or they can't do the damn job
she
because it's too
means
hard?
temporary.
I'm just saying. I mean,
More
more jobs.
temporary
Right.
work.
What jobs?
Jobs, the businesses that have come into the.
What businesses?
More Mexican restaurants.
Did she really put that on the flyer?
Yes. Businesses. The WLC moving that forward.
I say, what do I always say? You know how your city council feels about you by
Right,
the
what
business they allow to come in your neighborhood.
Right.
That's how you know what they feel about you. A warehouse, damn.
Right.
Like I said, anybody who's worked at Amazon know that place will kill you off. If you stay long enough or you don't get fired.
Right. Or you have to be very young and strong and spry.
Yeah, and even
to have a chance.
even they getting fired.
Right.
So,
right. But for her to put that out, see, Victoria Baca is very smart, because last time she just sat on her laurels and didn't say anything. Now she's trying to get ahead of the story and put this false narrative out. Now, those of us in District 1, we know Victoria Baca has not been seen in this district in 2 years.
right.
We know that. The only thing that she has been doing is touting the WLC.
And that's fine,
agenda.
but, what is it? Moreno Valley is about 30% or so with people with degrees.
Less than that.
Less than 30% of people with degrees, okay? And so I understand that whole thing, but by them allowing warehouses to keep coming into the area, the
people
city,
with degrees ain't going to be here.
Right. Because, you're cheapening the value of the city, turn it into a warehouse mecca. For one thing, we know a study came out that California is the worst place to live as far as economically. You cannot survive
Here.
unless you have a bunch of gigs and, you're uber rich or whatever. So everybody knows a warehouse job ain't going to help you survive.
It ain't
You're
going to make you
have to
buy
have
anything.
two warehouse jobs.
It ain't going to. You can't buy a house off of that.
Right. And then hell,
apartment.
What is an apartment? Like,
Girl, $12.50.
and that's
to
for
15.
a one bedroom sometimes.
Right.
And
One
you're living
bedroom,
in
two
real
bedroom.
Edgemont.
Right. Now, if you want to look at the brand new apartments off Edgemont with no sidewalks, that's going to run you 15.
15, right.
So, a warehouse job ain't cutting it. So listen, Victoria, I don't know if you watch. I think
She's watching. She does.
I don't think you should be bragging about bringing the jobs in here that people can't afford to live off of. Anybody who has a warehouse job, ever worked in a warehouse, know that most of the time you're there 10 hours a day. Where else are you going after that?
Mandatory overtime.
Mandatory overtime. Are you going to go work a second job? I've worked in a warehouse before. I know that's hard labor. Now, the job I was doing wasn't that hard back in the day. But, I've seen it. I've seen it. But it's hard work. Yeah. And so living here, what is the warehouse? What is Amazon paying? $12, $13?
Possibly $12.75.
Okay. We know that ain't jack.
And they only really hire during peak times, Christmas. And
then they let everybody go.
Right.
Unless you were busting.
Yeah, so stop bragging about that. That ain't nothing to be
writing
home
about. And here's the thing.
About.
Give it another 5-6 years, the robots are going to take over, and you're only going to need...
They're already taking over.
And you're only going to need like 20 people in the warehouse
Brag when you're bringing in some high-level jobs that people can afford to feed their family. As a matter of fact, bring some jobs in here to where women can stay home with their children while the man, or whoever you want to do it in your house, can stay home with the children. Do that kind of stuff. Bring in jobs that people can say, you know what, I got a damn good job.
Right, with benefits. Health care.
Right.
And things
like that. Hell, and I hate to keep talking about warehouse and Amazon, but I know a lot of people who have been, affected by that. It's brutal on your body. So you're bragging about bringing in jobs that are causing people their life and their livelihood? Yeah. I don't understand that.
They need to make a horror movie called Amazon.
And he's the richest man in the world. And me and you went and looked at the ledger as far as what these warehouses are how much taxes they're paying.
Gave away they're
not. Amazon is
raping the city.
They're getting away with it, and so Moreno Valley let them come in for next to nothing.
Well, and I know people, this isn't popular. People don't want to hear this, but when you have a city with a high Hispanic population, and this is logistics 101.
It's the truth. Yeah.
Go to Stockton. Go to where you have a high warehouse capacity. San Bernardino.
Yeah.
Where you have a large Hispanic Black population, poor population, you're going to have warehouses.
Right.
And in Moreno Valley, we have a high Hispanic population.
Right.
Look at our city council. The majority of the council is Hispanic.
And the crazy part about it is, with your Victoria Baca, she's doing that to her own people.
Her own people.
You would think that she has that kind of power. She say, enough warehouses. I want to get some, intellectual
Google,
positions
I want to
up
get
in
some,
here.
right.
Something that's going to really give my people a fighting chance other than them having to work 2 and 3 gigs to just survive up in here.
Well, let me ask you this. When the WLC was passed, what did Mr. Medina say, who was the mayor at the time? I'm going to be here every day to make sure he keeps his word. Haven't seen him since. That's point one. And point two is we invested in this warehouses and we're doing all this stuff. Supposedly, we're doing all this stuff. And here we are 2-3 years later. Come to find out, the EIR was not done correctly. It was just ruled a couple of weeks ago. So half of the city was put into turmoil by Highland Fairview and his Highland Fairview Edowitz and stooges based on a guy who didn't even want to do the EIR correctly, which basically cost him more money in trying to circumvent the system.
But again, you can't blame him. I mean, he's a businessman. He's going to do what they do. But the city council, obviously he's greasing their pockets. Yeah. And so they're not even making sure what he's trying to implement is correct. They're like, shit, as long as the check cleared in my bank account, I don't care.
Right.
So, blame them.
Exactly. And, it's unfortunate. Like I said, we have a lot of, we are a sanctuary city here. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of, unfortunate. To me, I speak straight and plain. I don't want
make it plain.
Yeah, straight and plain. Yeah. No, I'm not really worried. No, I'm not worried about that. But unfortunately, we have a lot of illegals in this city, and they're bringing their relatives and stuff like that. And these people are coming here and saying, "Well, any job will do," and they'll go out there and work 12, 16 hours for minimum wage. The problem is, we need to start penalizing these employers for letting these people slip through the cracks.
Well, that's what they have the I-9 in place for. That's supposed to, to
but a lot of these employers, when it's a third party, in, temp agency, they don't. Well,
even they're supposed to do I-9s.
Yeah. I will say, I just got hired to a place earlier this year. There was, she said, "You got a social? You got an ID? Yeah, all right."
There it is.
They pay me with a check stub. So
right. So, but I'm going to say during this recall and what's going to be going on, if this is what's actually going to happen and it does get certified that it's going to move forward, he gets enough signatures, I will be having the ICE number readily available to make a few calls when there's 10 people in a house. So Victoria Baca and you
you call it ICE? Ice, baby.
Yes. It's going to be like that. It's going to be that caption. Look, it's going to be like that caption you have.
Okay.
So,
that meme, you got the meme, the black dude on the phone.
No, that one with Tom and Jerry. The Tom was like, So, if you think Victoria Baca, what you're going to do this time is going to work, I have ICE's number readily and available because I'm going to go to the registrar, get the houses, and I'm going to see if there's 10 people living there. We're going to have ICE pay them a visit.
Damn.
Jonathan's not playing.
I'm not playing. I'm just going to do it.
I understand.
And like I said, I live in Edgemont, and there's nothing wrong with that. I got a couple of neighbors that might be questionable. But hey, I'm not going to call ICE into my neighborhood, but I might call it into your neighborhood.
Yeah, right. Bring a battle ram in somebody else's neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So that's my warning to everybody, and that's what's been going on the local thing. I do hope the recalls go through. Dave Marquez, unfortunately, he's a good buddy of mine. I do not wish that his...
But what is the basis of his recall? Just because?
Just because.
It got to be a reason on there.
Just because.
So did he throw some trash on the street? It got to be something.
Just because. And everybody, do not get distracted by Dave Marquez's recall. Concentrate on your district.
Who's recalling him, by the way?
Highland Fairview and
I live
Evan Moore. Evan Moore.
Or are they trying to get on his seat?
We don't know. They don't care. They just want to recall me. It's a distractionary tactic.
Right.
So you're going to recall me. I'm going to recall yours. So now we're worried about our friend Dave.
So Baca is on her recall is official.
It's official.
Oh wow.
So is Dave's.
Oh.
So they got enough signatures. So
they work. Oh man.
They need to get, I believe, Scott Hebron, who's leading the recall of Baca. And again, Scott's a buddy of mine too, but he is part of the Democratic Club of Moreno Valley. And the Democratic Club of Moreno Valley is controlled by Radine Ayers. Now, in the first recall, Dave Marquez is known to have helped, him and LaDonna Jensen have helped over here. Mm-hmm. So do you see the factions that are fighting? It's the same
They're
people.
all in bed together. They're all of them are in bed together, watching the same television program at night. I mean, they're all doing the same thing. It's just like,
it's a popularity contest.
What do you guys, do you have a bingo club?
Something.
Do y'all go bowling? Is it like, do you guys not have enough time on your hands? Like, or, you need to find something else to do. Recalls aren't cheap.
Exactly.
Find something to do.
It's cheaper this year because it's a
swingers club.
Something.
Hey, we have one of the largest swinger clubs in America right here in the Inland Empire, Freedom Makers.
Well, hey,
go play around, baby.
Freedom Makers.
Freedom Makers.
Call them up. Call them up. But
call them up.
And
stop playing with our money.
Right.
And speaking of elections, are you going to be voting? Yeah.
Oh yeah. The mid election.
Yeah, the mid elections like that.
I definitely want to vote. Okay. I try to vote actively every 4 years. I make sure I go get my vote on. But my parents are really into politics, so they remind me like, you need to read, you need to decide.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. Every 4 years, it's already been proven that you can vote for the president. If we went by every 4 years, Hillary Clinton would be president because she had 6 million votes, popular votes.
True.
So it doesn't worry. What you got to worry about is the midterms. Your local congressman, Takano, and those people like that. That's what's important. That's why it's important that you get the right person.
I did vote. Okay. 2 years back.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. They said it's been. I guess Texas is starting to look a lot differently than it usually looks. They had their what do you call it? Preliminary.
Yes, the preliminary is coming up. So they have
they had it yesterday, actually. Yeah.
So there's going to be very.
They said a lot of women got on the ballot.
No, they said there was over 100 women.
Yeah.
Had ran for office.
Democrats are starting to look okay. Texas is a red state.
Yeah,
I will definitely make an informed decision by the time I need to vote.
Okay, let me ask you this, just off the top of your head. Do you know?
No, don't do that to me, Donovan. I'm not even about to play with you.
No. Do you know who the Vice President of the United States is?
Oh, I do know who the Vice President of the United States is. Trump, Vice President, is that really tall white guy? Pence. Michael Pence, right? No, don't whisper because I do know. Here's the deal. I don't really
You know what he looks like.
Yeah, I don't really associate names. Even with actors, I'll be like, oh, the one that looks like this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really bad at that. I do keep up with the scandal that's going on in the White House right now because it's so exciting. Like, y'all fucked up letting Trump get in the White House. He's really, really the master manipulator. Yeah.
He's a failed
impressed. And then people are still like, 2020, Trump's for me.
Yep, of course, when you're white.
What? When you're white.
Have you seen Black Panther?
I have not.
Okay.
Wakanda forever.
Why? Well, let me ask you this. What's taking y'all so long to go see this movie?
You haven't seen it either?
I haven't seen it either.
I'll let you take me on a date.
Yeah, y'all go together to see the movie.
I'm waiting for it to go to the dollar.
No, here's the deal. I'm just not an active movie goer.
Neither am I.
That's not my thing. Like,
I ain't either, but I went and saw it.
No, I went to go do karaoke.
I went by myself and saw it.
Yeah, no, and then I was going to go on a date to see it, but you know how dudes be. I was like, So he, So.
Well, go by yourself.
Yeah. Wait.
No, I want to make a thing out of it.
Well, there you go. We can go.
Yeah, to the recliner seats at the.
Yeah, that's what they have when they bring you. Yeah, girl, if you gonna have to take it.
Yeah. Oh, we don't play over here. Take me.
Okay, look. Wait. What did I tell you, D? There's the good side, and then there's the other side.
He said he's gonna need you to read from the right to the left on the menu. But the prices first. Don't be just read that it has lobster tails.
Yeah. No, it doesn't have to be expensive. I just want an experience.
No. I don't have a problem with that.
Did you just not hear him though? So I'm waiting for the dollar theater. You talking about I want to go recline?
Yeah, I know.
Drink served.
No. And don't get me wrong.
I go.
Yeah, no. D will tell you I have no problem with you
Oh, but they're at the end though.
That's it.
Right, the payoff got to be.
No, he won't. I know when I go with Donovan, I got to look from the right.
That's right.
It was a lunch special today.
Yes.
That's right. $6. Oh no, we don't want no soda, not like that. Water for her.
With lemon and ice.
Yes, hot water with lemon and honey. Don't bring the tea
This
back.
fool went and ordered a water with lemon and some sugar.
I hate you. I dislike
It
you.
was dead serious.
That was dead serious.
Mix it up. And he's not broke. Far from.
Wait. I'm glad you said that. Why am I not broke?
Because you order water with lemon and sugar.
There you go. I made my own lemonade.
I don't even order the sugar. Okay, just give me the water and lemon.
Right. So,
No, but I am going to see it.
Okay.
Go see it.
Yeah, we'll go see it.
It has such a positive.
I believe if y'all go see it, y'all gonna come back here with a different sense of blackness, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'd be like, sister, look, in the name of Wakanda,
That's
we need
right.
to.
Because people,
Assalamu alaikum.
people are really, really like into. I just think it's dope that it's a positive.
Absolutely.
Black environment.
On one of the videos that I did about Black Panther, somebody got on there today and told me to shut my ignorant black ass up. Mm-hmm. So I deleted them.
Yes.
I mean, because it's like I'm not obviously because it was talking about the haters of Black Panther. Mm-hmm. So obviously that's not something you agree with. Right. That's fine, but you ain't gonna disrespect me.
Not on my page.
You know,
bye-bye.
Obviously I was talking about what they say. You throw a rock into the crowd. The one that hollers, the one that got hit. So I mean,
you were bothered,
right?
Bye bye.
I didn't block them
clown,
yet, but they come on there again and getting blocked.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No.
Now let me ask you this. Now she would be really good in one because she has that nice chocolate.
Oh
skin
yes. Yeah. They need you in Wakanda, girl. They need you up there.
There's money in Wakanda, so I'm there.
Yes. And take us with you. We want to go to Wakanda.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, mom is still doing great.
Yes.
Dad is doing great.
Amazing.
And mom's looking good and everything. Lost that extra weight. I mean, but does she feel better?
She feels better.
Healthier?
Like our whole household is just, still living the active, healthy lifestyle. Excellent. My mom is recovering well, and boobs still look great.
Yeah, she's not thick.
Well, tell me her secret. How you get the boobs to look great?
You know what? Like that's just her. She has them.
Yeah, what you need to do is have.
We must.
No.
Yes,
no.
we must increase our muscle.
No, I'm telling you, look. Have Al massage those things on a daily basis. That's all we got to do.
She got quiet. Anyway. No. She's looking great. She's just active, healthy lifestyle in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Now, what about Dad?
That is good. We all drink shakes for breakfast. We make healthier lifestyle choices. As summer comes around, my dad is in the pool working out.
Is he trying to make another brother or sister for you?
No, definitely not. No. And
he ain't feeling that good.
Nobody having children. Like, we just be rocking and living and growing and.
Real quick, and this is an important question I'm asking you. Okay, I know you're out there and you're trying to make your way and stuff like that. Have you actively considered working on your master's yet?
Yes, I have actively considered working on my master's, and the program I would be looking into is the creative writing program at USC. Yes, so I just need to really, really look into the requirements and the portfolio and the standards.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, I know USC has a great program. What's wrong with UCR or Cal State? San Bernardino?
Nothing.
Wouldn't that be easier to commute versus? Are you just like going to LA and hanging out and stuff?
It's about the name.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie.
But what about the money?
That's gonna come.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like if you decide you want to go get a master's and you're gonna put the money into it, what's $20,000 at UCR, which they have a creative writing program that's amazing as well, right? Versus $55,000 at USC or the $100,000. The difference is like the name on the degree on your resume. It makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
You know what I mean? So ASU is a top 10 journalism school.
Sure.
I was blessed enough to not have to put that much money out for my bachelor's. And before I got the CAP scholarship from Starbucks, my parents paid for my schooling. So fuck off some money on my master's degree. You know, that's how I feel about it, because I'll spend money on a car. I'll spend money on this, like.
Well, here's a funny thing. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but because I'm a veteran.
But I'm going to.
Yes,
anyway.
I'm going to. But I'm just trying to put this out for people that don't, that have options. For me, it would work for me. I'm 100% disabled.
I know. Congratulations for finally getting that 100% this year.
Absolutely.
Because that money increased.
And deserved it. But guess what?
Yes.
My son gets $1,000 a month.
Yes.
Until he's 26.
Yeah,
as long as
I
he goes
just
to
lost
school.
that 26.
Yeah, so
Years,
but
so.
so there's benefits there if you need to do it. And like I said, you're a single woman. Hey, the military is
Donovan is always trying to recruit, guys. This is America's #1 recruiter every day.
And the thing is, there's not enough of us in it. But we're going to go into the second hour, and we're going to talk about what's going on in South Africa with DK.
So what
she gets into it.
My name off giving donations, and they sent
guys,
me
get ready.
Invitation.
If not, who's first, second, or third?